Hello there, welcome to Smalls. My name is Bobby Waldron and we're going to be doing a nice inbox review here. It is a huge inbox review. I've just got off my holiday, so nice kickstart with this absolutely massive SR-71A Blackbird Lockheed Martin. It's by Revell and it is in 1/48 scale. This is a huge box. As you can see, absolutely massive. So this is going to be a pretty big kit. Now, it is a brand new tool, 2021. So really nice to see that it's new. It does cost RRP about £90, but it is about £80 and 99 pence in the general small store. So very expensive kit, very big kit. Let's open it up and see what it's all about. Now, the first thing you're greeted with when you open this up is this big, massive piece of plastic sprue just here. So let's just get this out. As I say, you know, it is a huge kit. Whoa, absolutely massive. You know, as you can see, massive piece of sprue just here. And this is like the top and the bottom part of our fuselage section. So let's take a look. I'm guessing it's going to be a typical type of Revell style kit. I mean, we can just see that we do have nice recessed panel lines, right, where they're due, and it does have quite a fair bit of detail. If I rotate that in the light, as you can see, more lovely detail with this kit. Looking at the recessed panel lines, they are, you know, they do look really nice and crisp. They do look like they're going to take a wash. They do look nicely in scale. However, I do notice, and this is atypical Revell, they normally do have good detail, but in one or two places you'll feel that some of the recessed panel lines have faded a bit, and they're not really going to take a wash. And I do tend to find with Revell, you know, a little bit of rescribing here and there, just to sort of, you know, give these like recessed panel lines that little bit of life. I mean, I'm just feeling these top part of the spine here, and you know, it has faded. It won't really take a wash. You're going to have to just come along with a P-cutter and just sort of nicely rescribe them. There's already a recessed panel line there, so it's not like you're putting in brand new recessed panel lines and doing, you know, full-on rescribing here. It's just a little bit of a touch-up. It's not good, but it's not totally bad. Now, there is a lot of plastic to get through this, so I'm not going to really sort of show it you all. I'm just going to sort of show you the main highlights. All right, so we have basically a bit more of our sort of surface detail here, which we'll just have a little quick look just on this another massive sprue. Let's put that over there. Again, as you can see, lovely recessed panel lines. Just get that nicely in the light. You can see all that detail. Looking at it, you know, this one doesn't seem to be too bad. I'm not seeing any, maybe just, no, I think we're okay with the sort of the way it's sort of the panel lines fade a bit with this one. It's normally with Revell, it's just those one or two little spots, but yeah, looking, you know, pretty good. I mean, there's a few inconsistencies in these recessed panel lines. I can just see there, there's little bits in there. It's probably hard to pick up on camera, but I can just see in there there's sort of little spots where it sort of closes up a little bit, and you've got to sort of do a little bit of rescribing there, but not looking too bad. I mean, the underside, I mean, it does look like it's not going to be visible, so reject pin marks, no big deal. We do have some nice engines as well to go with this, so it does look like we're going to have something where we can show off engines from what I'm seeing, if you wanted to do a bit of scratch building or, you know, show all that kind of stuff off. So a quick look into this. If we take a look at our engine just here, you know, loads and loads of lovely detail in there, all the pipe work, raised bolts or rivets or something going on there, you know, and it looks like it's going to be like 4 pieces that come together to make up a whole engine. Looking pretty half decent with that. Is that just, we'll find out if there's more than one engine. We've got the nose cone as well, looking pretty nice and sharp there. Ejector seats, you know what, I mean, the seat belts kind of look, they're not the, maybe shall we say, the best of detail. Maybe Edard will come out with some like red photo etch or something, but not too shabby. The wheels, you know, they're looking pretty good on their detail side of things. Exhaust area here, again, you know, we've got some nice detail on there in the exhaust intake fans as well, and the same just on here. Moving along, here we go. We've got another bag which is exactly the same as we got in there, so we've got like the 2 engines and stuff, which is good. We've got another bag here with all sorts in here. Again, you get a lot of plastic for your money. I know it is expensive, right, but you are getting a huge kit. Oh, by the way, I mean, you know, this kit in particular, I always, whenever I do an inbox review, I either give this kit away as a competition prize or I'll put it up in the store really cheap. It's basically going to be a cheaper version, and basically I've opened it, so if you're after a bargain, there will be just one up there that you could get your hands on, which will be this kit. Now we move along to the cockpit area. We can see actually quite a nice bit of detail there for our instrument display panels. Right, hopefully we'll have some decals to go inside there. A bit more in the cockpit up here, loads and loads of buttons showing off a whole bunch of detail. Again, some more surface detail with the same sort of level of surface detail in there. Moving along with some more of our pieces here. Looks like a bit of maybe wheel well detail, maybe sort of bits of landing gear ish, right, and little bits and bobs that is just on here, little bits of detail, probably a bit of framework and structure to the aircraft as well. And then we have our big engines, right, sort of like some more exhaust areas just here, the outer parts. Again, that's looking quite big, bulky, but very crisp and pretty well detailed by the looks of that in there. Then we have our landing gear just on this side, which does have what looks like to be a nice bit of detail. This is a brand new sort of mold, so I mean, looking at it, I mean, I haven't really seen any major flash. It's just that atypical little bit of flash that you'd get with any sort of new mold. Apart from that, looking good there. Ooh, we have some clear parts just here. Let's hope that Revell did a good job with these. Right, and if we just open this up, hopefully you could see, I mean, you know, we just get these little windows, right, and they are looking real nice, crisp, clean. Putting up to the light, we've got no real sort of scratches. It might seem a little bit wavy, if you know what I mean, when you look at canopies, and they're maybe a little bit wavy in there. Right, we've got that a little bit, but no big deal. And then we've got, I'll just show you these last bits of canopy just there. Then we have this sort of final big last sprue just here. Looks like you get a nice stand with this, which, you know, is nice if you want to use a stand, or if you don't want to use a stand. Bit of a nice in-flight display, right, which is basically this sprue here. Nothing to write home about with that one. Then we have again some more surface detail, as you can see, you know, just like the rest of the kit, just seeing that atypical surface detail that we've got there. And again, some more, oh, we've got like a second cockpit tub just there also. And the last sprue looks like our sort of air intakes and stuff, which, if they are, there are quite a few ejector pin marks inside there if you wanted to take care of them and sand them out. You know, I mean, they are looking like air intakes, but there is, as you can see, quite a few ejector pin marks in there, which is a little bit of a shame to see. We do have another instrument display panel just here, which is looking really well detailed, actually very nice detail just on that. And I'm guessing this big piece is some sort of structure part, which we'll find out in a sec when we look at the instructions. Just jumping into our decals or decals just here. Now these are by Revell, and Revell normally do really nice decals that go well with micro, salt and set. So just looking at them just here, hopefully you could see, you know, we've got some nice decals there. You know, they don't feel too thick. I mean, I'm looking at the colours and everything looks like it's in registry, it's not out of place. The smaller writing, you know, it does look like, you know, there is, you know, when you sort of look really close, that you can just almost sort of read it, maybe get a magnifying glass out. They do look quite good. We do also have all our instrument display panels and stuff here, but they are one big deck, or you could go down that route, or what I normally do is I like cut out any dials or display screens, and I'll maybe sort of decal them on and do the rest myself. But yeah, decals should be really good. Moving along with the instructions. Now, as big as this looks, actually it doesn't seem like it's going to be as hard as maybe you might think, right? So let's just look through this. Well, first off, you know, we have this sort of internal ribwork structure, just to, because it's a big model, just to hold it all together. You can drill some holes if you want to have it on the display stand. We build up our first bit of a wheel well, right, and we start moving along to doing our landing gear and everything. I'm hoping that we can put the landing gear in at the end. We don't want one of these models where the way it's built, because they are saying to put this landing gear in so early. I'm hoping that you don't have to actually put it in straight away. Hopefully there's a way of keeping them out, because it's better for spraying and all that kind of stuff. So fingers crossed with that. But looking at it, you may have to put it in first, right? So do be warned on that one. It's something that you'd have to sort of get out and sort of play with to see if you can work that out, but yeah, it could be one of them. And yes, we move along with all our cockpit area, doing our 2 cockpit tubs and ejector seats and everything. Looking kind of sort of simple so far, to be fair. You bring your 2 halves together, glue them down. It's looking quite sort of nice and simple. We do have our sort of air intakes just here. If you remember, you had all those ejector pin marks inside them, but if you kind of look at the way this is going to go together, it is going to be so hard to actually look down into that air intake and see those ejector pin marks. So it's probably not such a big deal. Probably something that you don't really want to be running off and trying to take care of, because it's going to be so hard to see. Now I'll just sort of show you here, you know, there's your air intake with that big sort of cone in the middle. It's going to be hard to look down there and see, so hopefully we haven't got to take care of that. Exhaust again seems to be going together quite well. The instructions are explaining it quite nicely. Probably if there's going to be any sort of iffy fit issue is maybe when we sort of it looks like the top part of our engine section here is going to sort of connect to this second of the part. Just making sure you test fit that and everything. You may have to do some sort of nice sort of gluing it together, and maybe fill sand and scribe just to make it look like the rest of the model, because the way they've kind of got it is it sort of locks in rather than just 2 halves coming together and you sort of sand them. So that may be a little bit of a one to look out for with this kit. And then you've got both sides, you bring them together. You know, actually, I mean, it's big, but it kind of looks like it might be kind of like a nice, easy, simple construction. Although the nose section here would have been nice if that just all was one big piece, but it looks like you've got to sort of bring those 2 halves together and then sort of lock it in to the rest of the fuselage. Maybe a bit of a join line to sort of take care just that little bit that we have there. Looks like, you know, all your sort of flaps and slats, ailerons and stuff, you can have sort of in different positions, which is nice to have. Looks like some sort of open what is it, landing gear up or down, depending on how you want to go about it. Bringing your wheels, doing them, wheel well doors, you know, pretty sort of standard simple stuff. And then your cockpit and everything. You know, actually it does look like it is going to be quite an, I would say, apart from the size, quite a nice easy construction. I'm not seeing any major problems with this unless there is any sort of fit issues. But then we do have the whole engines where we can have them on display, which is nice if you want to have that, and you've got 2 of them, which also do sit on the display stand as well if you want to go for that in-flight display. And then we have, I do believe, about 4 markings to play around with here, just sort of showing you the high visibility and the low visibility sort of versions as well. It is going to be all black, so there's a different way of going about spraying and stuff. I do want to do a video on that, a really sort of all black kind of model. Maybe this is the one, maybe in the future. But all in all, I've got to say, yes, it is expensive. That's going to be the problem with this kit, is the price tag is pretty hefty. I know it's RRP about £80. You know, we sell it, sorry, RRP about £90. We sell it for about £81. This one's going to go up as a bargain because I've opened it. But yeah, the price, that's going to probably be the problem. I mean, although you do get a massive kit, this thing is going to be huge. It's going to be a big display piece, big centerpiece. You know, you do get a lot of plastic. I know it's expensive, but you do get a lot of plastic for your money, and it is going to be a nice eye catcher. And it is, let's face it, I mean, this is an absolutely cool iconic bird as well to go off and build, and to do it in 1/48 scale is really nice. So I'd say it's a big thumbs up. I know the price, yeah, it's a little bit, but it definitely looks like an absolute cracker of a kit. And I wouldn't mind building it myself. So yeah, definitely a big thumbs up here at Genesis Models. But as always, until next time, my name is Bob Waldron, this is Genesis Models, and I hope you've enjoyed.